Viper is an ancient aeromega looping coaster located at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Anyone who is familiar with Magic Mountain knows that Viper never seems to have a wait, even on the most crowded of days. This is because the GP don't like getting their heads smashed back and forth during rough transitions, and I'll include myself in that list. Viper is hands down the worst coaster at Magic Mountain. Its counterpart, over at Six Flags Great Adventure, the iconic Great American Scream Machine, was removed in 2010. Viper is now over 30 years old, so how much longer can the park keep this ancient coaster running? My guess, not too long. I would imagine maintaining this old coaster has become pretty expensive, and with low ridership, there seems to be no reason to keep this around. Viper also takes up a prime spot of land near the front of the park. In today's video, I'll be ranking the 5 best coaster types that could take Viper's place, and what I think the perfect replacement would be that no one seems to be talking about. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing because it really helps grow the channel. Let's get straight into it. Before I get into the good ideas, let's talk about a few I'm less hot on. I don't like the idea of a mock Power Splash coming to the park, even the looping kind. I know we just lost Tidal Wave to the new Wonder Woman coaster, but I really don't think anyone misses it. Plus, the park could squeeze in a coaster like this anywhere. Another idea I'm not a big fan of is a dive coaster. Maybe if it's Valraven size, it would be better, but if it's like the one coming to Fiesta, Texas, I won't go too crazy. That's a perfect addition for that park, but with Emperor opening at SeaWorld and Hangtime opening at Knott's, the dive coaster wouldn't be such a great option. Lastly, Magic Mountain already has enough launch coasters, so the Vekoma launch coaster wouldn't be a great fit. But you know what would be a great fit? Number 5, an S&S Access coaster. I shot down this idea in an earlier video because I said it was a gimmick, and I still stand by that. But this seems like a real possibility for Magic Mountain. Six Flags works well with S&S, and they can market this as the first of its kind in North America. I think this would be a strong addition, but still a gimmick. The 4th best replacement would be a Beyond Vertical Drop coaster. The world's steepest coaster is an incredibly marketable title for very little cost. I would usually say Gerstlauer, but we know Six Flags doesn't work with them after the new Texas Giant incident. This could be an in-house coaster like Cannibal, or maybe something from another manufacturer like Zierer. I think this would be the perfect fit, but finding the right manufacturer makes this less likely. The 3rd spot goes to the Blue Hawk treatment. To anyone who is unfamiliar, Blue Hawk is a revamped version of the Vekoma headbanger Ninja at Six Flags Over Georgia. The park did some track work and a retheme, but most importantly, they added trains with vest restraints. This eliminates headbanging completely. Viper has some great forces and could be a great ride with these kind of adjustments. I just don't know how marketable this is, and I hear Blue Hawk did not get a good return on investment, so maybe this won't happen. The 2nd best replacement would be a Giga coaster. Whoa, don't click off the video. Obviously this would be the best, but it's coming in second because of how unlikely it is to happen. This would most likely be a B&M, but Intamin seems to be proving things with their new rides, plus they tend to be cheaper. This would fit perfectly in Magic Mountain's lineup, giving them an elite top 3, achieving my dreams and then crushing Cedar Point, and every enthusiast will come running. Just kidding, kinda. Anyway, this would be an awesome addition. Lastly, and most importantly, the absolute perfect addition that no one seems to be talking about. Number 1. Whenever there's an old, rough, and boring wooden coaster, every enthusiast knows the battle cry. RMC it! But what if there was a way to turn old, rough, and boring steel coasters into elite ones? We'll enter D.H. Morgan Manufacturing, now operating as Chance Rides. In 2001, Morgan blessed the coaster world by turning the rough Aero Looper Steel Phantom at Kennywood into the elite, smooth, airtime-packed hypercoaster, the Phantom's Revenge. This coaster still gets rave reviews today, and keep in mind, the entire cost of removing the inversions and adding airtime hills cost us $12 million, adjusted for inflation. What a bargain! A Morgan transformation of Viper would give Magic Mountain an actually good hypercoaster with airtime, which is the last thing they need in their lineup. Just imagine, lap bars on the smooth track, as the former Viper glides over its curved drop into a series of large airtime hills and a twister section. Heaven! If they really wanted to be light on the wallet, they could use the same footers that Viper already has in the ground and just make the new coaster follow Viper's same path. I know this is outside the box, but it makes sense in so many ways. The Morgan revamp could keep the same curved drop and enter a large camelback, rather than the vertical loop, and enter a swooping curved drop and turn into another airtime hill, replacing the two vertical loops. Morgan could keep the mid-course and replace the Batwing with the twister section and maybe a helix before a final series of bunny hills replacing the double corkscrews. Six Flags, you can make this happen. Please. Anyway, that's all. Are there any coaster types you thought should have been on this list? What do you think about a Morgan transformation of Viper? Please let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching, and please consider liking and subscribing. See you guys in the next one.